The war on cops. Police departments across the country are on edge following the shootings of 4 officers in 4 cities on Sunday. At least 3 of the shootings are believed to have been ambushes against police, including one that led to the death of San Antonio police detective Benjamin Marconi.
A teenager is under arrest at this hour in connection to the murder of a Baltimore police officer yesterday.
62 officers were shot to death. That's a 59% increase from last year.
We have certainly seen an increase in police-involved shootings where officers are being shot in this country. We have already had 253 police officers shot. That is a 20% increase this year over last.
These images show several policemen on the ground as shots keep coming.
To me, it's very concerning. It seems that we're seeing an increase in violence. It's not always fatal. It's sometimes, in my opinion, behavior where they're throwing things at police officers.
The numbers, and every year on average 151 police officers are killed in the line of duty, 49,000 are assaulted, and of those 13,000 are actually injured.
I just left lunch and I was going to go check a high crime area for any suspects I thought might be in the area. And I was driving by a Family Dollar. There's 2 guys crouched down on the side of the Family Dollar. I turn around and they start running on foot. I follow them as far as I can in my car until they start cutting through yards. So I jumped over one fence, I fell down, and I heard a loud boom. I'm like, what is that? And I look up, I noticed the guy was aiming a gun at me, and I'm like, oh no. I'm in the middle of a field with no cover. I was like, I need to look for cover, so I turned around. As soon as I turned around, I got hit in the back of the arm with a round. I went down and I returned fire. I called on the radio. Luckily, there was officers nearby, and they set up a perimeter. They were able to catch him about 4 hours after the incident happened. I got lucky.
Over the past week, 6 officers were attacked in Michigan, Texas, Missouri, Florida, and Idaho. This year alone, 60 officers have been shot and killed, 20 in ambushes.
It certainly puts us all on a little bit extra edge because we realize that at any moment, people who want to do untold harm against police officers simply because of the uniform they wear, they can do that. So our officers are being much more vigilant than they have been in the past, but it's a real threat to us.
24 hours after Deputy Darren Goforth was viciously gunned down while pumping gas, the manhunt is over.
Breaking news coming to us from East Houston. A Houston police sergeant has died after being shot.
His name was Sandeep Dhaliwal. He was shot and killed during a traffic stop on Friday.
Both were very tragic, senseless, very difficult situations that our agency will forever feel. Anytime we lose a law enforcement professional, it's something that's felt not only by the agency but also the community.
Thank you so much for his life, just that we got to know him.
So we're always trying to find additional ways to better protect our law enforcement officers. So there's more pressure in that regard, that we want to see what we could learn from these incidents.
The story of the hero cop has become so powerful and pervasive that even questioning police behavior is decried as disloyal, un-American, and dangerous. What are you saying here? Are you saying that cops aren't heroes?
I think with the media and Facebook and so many different sources of social media has painted a bad light on police officers.
All right, moving on now. A grand jury in Dallas today upgraded the charges against a fired officer from manslaughter to murder.
It makes us all look bad when one person does bad in our line of work.
It's culture. You hear it in music about violence and how to make a dime. So the younger generation is attracted to that.
Being a police officer is one of the most stressful jobs out there, but it's being made worse for some cops by people who seem to be taunting them, trying to provoke a reaction. They say they film police to hold them accountable, but is it really just a way to get material for social media?
The president winks at it and has spent the last 7.5 years encouraging this kind of behavior. Time and again, he has sided against the police, starting very early in his term.
No one pushed back against the false narratives. No one pushed back against the anti-police rhetoric. And as a result, we've had a series of viral incidents where people don't get the whole story, and it actually promotes the us versus them mentality of the community versus the police, and people then tend to be more violent towards police officers because of what they've seen on the news.
Here in New York City, 3 police officers injured. Assailants in one of the housing complex targeted cops with hurled bottles, other debris which police believe tossed out of the windows from the rooftops.
I think the solution is for everybody to calm the rhetoric down. Let's continue to build bridges with our community, but unfortunately we have those on the other side that have made a career out of breaking those bridges down.
We're not here just to lock people up. We're also here to help and see if there's ways that we can address issues in the community that will cut down on the crime rate.
We truly care. We really want to serve the community. There's a vast number of incidents that we respond to every day and every year, and we're out there saving lives and making a positive difference in most situations. All sides need to work closer together. I know there's a responsibility on law enforcement, but there's also a responsibility on the part of the community to get to work with one another and get to know each other a little bit better.
We need leaders in the community to say, it's not okay to go ahead and protest officers and calls for their death in those protests. It's okay to protest, but it's not okay to incite violence against police officers, and all of that needs to stop.